Good morning, TNT, and welcome back to PSA TV. I'm Avalon Williams. We have Mr. Micheal Annisette on the phone with us this morning. We're here going to discuss the acceptance of the OWT proposal by the government for the refinery. Mr. Annisette, good morning.
Yeah, pleasant morning to you and all the lovely listening public on Trinidad and Tobago.
How are you this morning?
Well, I'm here. You know how it is every day. You move on to higher heights. You know, you just have to keep your positive vibes.
Yeah.
Right. According to Bob Marley, don't live no negative way. Just think positive and move on.
Ms. Annisette, I know we have been having a discussion of the OWTU and the oil refinery and stuff like that. What does NATUC support? Does NATUC support of the OWTU?
Yeah, well, NATUC gives our unequivocal support to the OWTU. We also compliment the government for making such a bold and progressive move. All right, it is one of the first instances where the trade union movement and by extension the working class have been allowed to participate in the commanding heights of the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is a welcome sign. It is historical in my view. It is something that can and will change the industrial landscape and also the economic landscape of Trinidad and Tobago, where you will have a worker-run company and we'll be able to match, all right, our concept of how we do business as opposed to the traditional concept of how you do business. All right, so it's an opportunity to grow a new concept of economic growth and economic democracy, where the trade union movement will be involved, and by extension workers in the commanding height of the economy.
Okay. And if you can just touch on NATUC's philosophy of the workers and unions as well.
Well, you know, we have been and we continue to articulate the need for the involvement of the trade union movement and by extension workers in the commanding height. As the public may not know, the National Trade Union Center through NUGFW and SWWTU would have forged an alliance, and we have been successful in carrying out houses for our members. And that has been an ongoing issue that has been, successful. I could give an example, and people must remember that when we went into Valsin, which was a so-called special area for special people, some of the government ministers were making noise about the whole concept that we will downgrade. All right, the prices of houses, because Valsin was considered to be one of those areas, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And we were able to demonstrate that we went into Valsin, and while we built the houses for $150,000, all right, for a whole 3-bedroom house at that time, right, houses in that area was going for as much as $500,000. And we were able to demonstrate that you can construct houses within a reasonable price range and make it affordable for the working class. Suffice it to say that those houses have no value in the millions of dollars for the workers who would have purchased, all right, that particular house. And the concept was supported at the then time by the PNM government, okay, because they were part of the concept where the trade union movement should be involved in constructing houses for their members. So the point that I am making that is something that we always support, and more importantly, the SWWTU went into partnership with private enterprise, and we were successful in running 3 companies which employs over 200 people as I speak to you. And those things are keep as secret. Those things don't make the news. All right. But the point that I want to make is that we have been able to demonstrate that given the opportunities, we can compete with anybody as it relates to housing and as it relates to employment, as it relates to, to any business that we put our hands on and we are allowed to run.
Ms. Annisette, just before you go, I just wanted to touch a little bit on the Sedition Act. Have you had any new developments so far?
No. Well, what would have happened is that we are in discussions with our attorneys. As you know, litigation in Trinidad and Tobago is quite expensive, as I speak to you, so that we are in the process of trying to raise the necessary money in order to challenge the Sedition Act. Okay? But we feel strong that the act needs to be repealed in the construct that it is presently. I will have articulated why, so there's no need for I to go through into the historical reason why we feel that that law has no place in a modern democratic Trinidad and Tobago, given the history of where that law came from. So, as I speak to you, we are in discussions. We have our attorneys on board. The issue is to find the requisite money to start the litigation, and we are working on that as I speak to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Ms. Annisette, before we end today's
No,
interview?
It's just to simply say that I will want the general public to be reminded that the founding father of Trinidad and Tobago politics, of the PNM, I should say, in 1970, the 27th of November 1970, when he addressed a special conference of the party, supported the idea, and I just want to quote him, right, for those who don't understand, the PNM perspective, right, place great emphasis of the participation of union in the economy. The best example of entrepreneurship can be given of the role of the trade union movement in Israel. So the point that I'm making, that in 1970, the founding father of the PNM was talking about the right of the trade union movement to participate in the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. And we are now in 2019. All right, so I'm saying that the move by the government is a bold and progressive move, and we hope in the National Trade Union Center that this is not a selective move, but it will be a move whereby, and I want to make that fundamental point, whereby the trade union movement, right, and by extension the workers, if and when state enterprises or government entity is giving up shares, or they want to shut down, or any private company where you have workers and recognized majority union, that the workers must be given what I want to call the first rights of refusal, which is a principle that speaks to having workers' cooperatives and having workers, and by extension the trade union movement, own businesses when the business go belly up, or when the business wants to go out of business, that we should be given the first right of refusal. And this is practiced in Italy, this is practiced in Spain. The Mondragon Big Enterprise, which is a workers' cooperative, which was started in 1956 with 9 people, have grown now to be the one of the 10 largest entities in Spain. All right, and it demonstrates then that the question of workers being involved and owning companies is not something that is new, but it's something that is not taught us, and they make it appear rather that is only a special kind of people, right, can own businesses, and therefore we must always be the drawers and of our mortars and hewers of wood, which I don't support, and therefore will be pushing for that whole concept of workers' cooperative to be embedded in our constitution thing, to embedded in how we do business as we move forward. When businesses are going to be closed down, workers must have that right of first choice
Mr.
in order
Annisette,
to run the business.
Ms. Annisette, I just wanted to ask you on your take on the fact that the opposition leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad-Bisasa, she actually wants the sedition law to be revoked immediately. What is your take on her now stepping forward as she was in office before?
Listen, all I will simply say, and I would have said it the very first time, the arrest of Comrade Duke in the circumstances, which was on the eve of our independence, 57 years independence. The fact that he was arrested almost 11 months after he made a statement, and the fact that he was arrested, after the 11 months, speaks volume, and it would have raised eyebrows, and it would have caused a lot of people to pay attention. And that came on the heel of the Satmaraj matter, where the Sedition Act was used to go and raid his radio station. And we in NATUC view the question of the freedom of the press as something that is sacred. And therefore, any support that we can get from any member of government or any institutions, or social grouping is welcome. And we welcome the idea of the support of the opposition leader. You see, in Trinidad and Tobago, we always make the mistake of personalizing issues, and we don't deal with the bigger picture. The picture is that we have seen an upshot in the use of the Sedition Act, which was dormant, and therefore there is a need for us to review it. And I would have reviewed it, and I am frightened by the construct of that act because people do not understand the implication that it has for every citizen in Trinidad and Tobago.
Ms. Annisette, I just want to thank you for taking this call with us this morning.
The pleasure is always mine, and have a good day and have a good weekend, the listening public.
Same to you. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Mr. Micheal Annisette there was on the phone with us, just chatting a bit about the Sedition Act and the refinery of the OWTU. So we're going to open our phone lines for persons who wish to call to let us know what's happening. 770-5294, that's the number to reach us at. Again, it's 770-5294. So we're going to just take a short break and come right back.